Ali Drew for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm joined by Kieran Molloy, who is here on Fight Week in Belfast. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. Just excited to get going on Saturday.
How are you in Fight Week? Are you quite chilled? Are you excited, nervous? How does the Fight Week look for you?
There's a mixture of everything, I suppose. You know, I've been waiting to get out since my debut back in the end of February. So a couple of fights fell through, but at least we've got a date to work towards now and an opponent. So it's all feeling real again.
Yeah, I mean, you just brushed on it then that you had a couple of fights fall through. It was a bit more dramatic than that. The fact that you were meant to be fighting in Madison Square Garden, the fight fell through very, very last minute. How difficult was that to deal with? Obviously, it's so early on. You're only 1-0 as a pro. How difficult was that to deal with?
Yeah, it was tough at the time because we only found out the day of the weigh-in. So like all my supporters had travelled over, spent hard-earned money to be there. And yeah, of course, then my opponent got COVID. There's not much you can do about it. You know, this is pro boxing. That's what happens. But look, we just regrouped as a team and just looked to see as fast as we could get out again. And Belfast was the next one in line.
Do you feel like it's going to benefit you having these adversities so early on in your career? Do you feel like it's going to help you in the long term deal with other things? As you say, pro boxing, all sorts can happen.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you always hear that stuff like this happens, but you never think it's going to be you. Then 3 or 4 things have already happened that you would hate to think would happen to you already. Do you know, through away? But like I've dealt with them quite well. I've got a great team around me who guided me in the whatever emotions I was feeling. They were very good to talk to and stuff. So look, that's we're sitting here anyways, and we're looking forward to it.
You're here now. How are you finding camp and training now you're a pro? You know, the team around you. How are you finding all of that?
Yeah, it's good. My coach Angel is out in Saudi Arabia now with Anthony Joshua, so it's I've got my father here, Stephen, who's going to do my corner with Jay Allen. He's like Angel's assistant coach. But yeah, no, the transition has been really good. I'm enjoying it. Slowing things down quite a lot. Just getting a lot of rounds of sparring in with good professional boxers. It's like it's completely different than amateurs. It's not all like a sprint anymore. But no, I'm adjusting nicely now.
You mentioned AJ there. Being in and around camp with the likes of AJ and Richard Riakporhe, do you feel like that speeds up your learning in the pro game so much more than you would elsewhere? Yeah,
I think that's where we all want to be, is at the top of our game. You've got Anthony Joshua there who's getting ready for probably the biggest fight in boxing. And I can see the preparations, what have to be made for these elite fights. I see Richard, who's only 1 fight away from world title. I see them on their journey, and that's where I want to be. So like you learn from them. Fraser Clark as well, he's in a similar situation myself, sort of been out of the ring for a few months, but well he's had an injury, but he started back there last weekend with a good knockout. So we're all like pushing each other on in the gym. It's a pleasure to train alongside them.
You mentioned the fight there, AJ Usyk, the rematch. Having been in the gym, seeing the preparations, how do you see the fight? Not the outcome, presumably you'll say you see that AJ would win, but how do you see the fight going?
I think it's going to be an extremely difficult fight for both of them. You've got Usyk, he's one of the pound for pound best boxers out there at the moment, who's after beating AJ for all of his belts. So I think this time you're going to see a different Joshua, more aggressive, like the old days, like when he wanted to win the world titles. That's the way he's been training. Now to bring it into the ring against such a good boxer, it's going to be hard, but he's definitely got the tools to cause the upset win again.
Did you see a change in him when he got defeated and went back into the gym? Is there a different mindset?
Well, I wouldn't have personally known him before the fight, but I definitely expected him to win that first fight, and I was wondering what went wrong. And from what I'm hearing, maybe the first camp didn't go great, but from this one, he kept his team small and tight, and now like everyone's working together as a team. He's got like the right training facilities in Loughborough Sport as well. The best in the world there. We've got everything, and he's got the best team around him. So I think we'll see the best AJ now, hopefully.
And do you see, if he gets the win, do you see the Fury fight happening?
Yeah, 100%. Everyone wants that to happen. I think it will happen. We'll see, though. You know, the way Fury talks a lot, so I don't know. I think there's a very good chance it will happen.
I mean, you just never know with
Oh.
boxing in general. The amount of fights we hear might happen and then they don't. You just never know.
Yeah.
Back to Saturday, it's probably one of the biggest, strongest cards in Irish boxing history. How good is it to be high up on the bill on a card like that?
Yeah, it's fantastic. This is where I want to be. Show my skills on the biggest platforms. Thanks to Top Rank and Colin Boxing, I've been given that opportunity. And to share it as well with a few up-and-coming stars. Like, there's 4 or 5 lads who I would have been on the national team with since we were 11, 12. To see everyone developing into the professionals now is great. And obviously fight alongside my manager, Michael. It's going to be a special night.
Well, enjoy it and best of luck.
Sound, thank you.